dangerous. They've got a massive bench. They've also got inside-outside players capable of covering all bases, and that's what makes them so difficult to deal with. Noel Adams goes up, and he flies off as Noel picks it up. The matchup is very interesting. Tries to go around that floater, and there is contact from Dawo.
Well, that is 4 team fouls here for Ahli Tripoli with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. It's his second personal foul, and 7 players of Ahli Tripoli have already fouled here in this game against APR. It is as physical as it can get. There's a lot on the line. So much is at stake for APR especially.
Noel, 5 points so far. Doesn't manage to get his second. Well, that's excellent hustling there from that man, Randall. And the first player in double figures, of course, Tristan Randall for APR. And now he manages to put pressure on Ahli. They lose possession, and now they get it back, and it's going to be Noel. We're getting it inbound. Sadi comes back on. Noel, Aliou Diarra. He still manages to keep all the possession. 5 seconds, got to get the shot in. Don't have much time. Tries to go high, and that's difficult to deal with. Boissy just getting in his face. A little bit of chit-chat between those two as well. Noel's being quite verbal out here. A little bit vocal, isn't he, today?
It's just the intensity of the game inside the BK Arena.
Floats it over, travelling call for Dawo. A couple of little mistakes there for Dawo.
Yeah, he fouled on the other side, and then the walk at the top of the key. There was not even really so much pressure on him there on defense, but APR now have an opportunity to reduce their deficit here.
Noel, enjoy. There's the bounce pass. Aliou Diarra gets it out into the corner. There's Noel. Oh, he goes up. And there's contact again. Straight to the free throw line. And it looks like, is that Thompson who's picked up his third? It is. And that's a problem.
Looking at the replay there, it looks to have been some contact as we see Obadiano go to the free throw line. He made the most free throws in season 4, just playing in conference play, 40 to be more precise. He was averaging 8 free throws made per game, and here he's already making another trip to the charity line.
There's a lot of conversations taking place on the floor, and we got Jean-Jacques Boissy and Dame Miller Jr. being told to just separate. And Dame Miller Jr. is the same with just talking.
Of course, the referees have picked up on the conversations there that are happening on the floor. Wael Mustafa, the referee from Egypt, he knows exactly what is going on the floor, and I think for APR, the strategy here is to try and get in the head of Jean-Jacques Boissy. They know he can destroy them in terms of scoring on offense. Yeah, and that's where it is right now.
Anyway, we gotta turn our phone. Q, this is interesting. You've been in situations like this before, you know, where teams want to, you know, get inside of your mind. How'd you deal with it? Block them out?
I was never a talker, so, you know, I just wouldn't listen to whatever was being said. But these are two vocal guys, and they're energy and floor leaders. And we've seen Boissy's vocality, if that's a word. No, he's just very vocal. And on the other side, Noel is playing the same role for APR. You know, they talk, they get in your head, and they use that as energy to try and play.
6 points, now 5. And Noel moves up to 7. Sadi, Noel, Boissy, Dane Miller Jr. Oh, it's beautifully picked up by Dowell, loses the ball. As Noel comes off his feet, and a missed opportunity there for Ali. He'll just pump a little bit of energy into the BK arena as they get behind APR, Russia.
Yeah, good defense there from APR, but of course the strategy is very clear here from Coach Abu Shakra. He knows that every time Boissy gets onto the ball, 2 defenders will step up. It gives him an opportunity to dish that ball, but Dow doesn't deliver on that possession.
Boissy takes it up the floor, right through the middle, tries to use the glass, he scores. That's a big score, that is, for Jean-Jacques Boissy, Senegal.
6 points for the Senegalese international, and he's grinding on the court since coming on.
Comes back out. Noel goes through. There's the pass to Ndoye. He's travelling court. And a little skip there on the baseline. Catches out Ndoye.
Yeah, but great defense there from Wajdi Dow, who does a great job, the Libyan international, to try and stop Ndoye using the best line.
Abimana back on the floor. 7 points. Ahli still just keeping them at arm's reach. It's exactly where they want to be. It's up to APR to try and just stop them from scoring. The trouble is everybody's capable of scoring points, and that man, Adams, is sensational. Floats one over the top, and to make it a 9-point game.
And he's up to 12 points. 2 players in double digits there. Dion Thompson, of course, was going to the bench with the 10.
Ndoye coming up against Al Mansouri, trying to spin, it goes around. And no one there to get the rebound. Adams goes around, he goes up, and he gets fouled. And Ndoye will pick up his second foul. Sorry, I think it's Ndoye. No, it's Uetonze, I think. No, what am I talking about? Let's see who picked up. I think it's Ndoye, right?
Randall.
Randall.
And that's that matchup between the 2 players who have featured on NBA rosters in this conference. So you got to keep an eye on Adams and all of his pedigree, and Jason Randall on the other side for APR.
This is the 3rd time that Jalen Adams has attracted a foul in this game. He'll continue to go to the free throw line and try to see if he can add points on the board.
Second is good as well, there you go. And Adams up to 13 now.
It's a 10-point game, Robbie.
Yeah, that's the first time it's become 10 points, but there'll be oh no, they went to 12, I think, at one point. And there's the long-range shot. That's a massive triple there coming from the ever-dangerous Randall. Up to 14 he goes.
6 in 15 three-pointers here for APR. They found their scoring rhythm.
Dow picks it up off the back of that missed shot. Adams. Randall. High screen. Bounce pass between trees. And the ball goes out of play. That was heading in the right direction there.
Yeah, it's exactly what we talked about earlier in terms of opening up the paint for Ahli Tripoli, but Jason Randall is shooting in fine form here for them and just continuing to contribute. 4 for 5, 80% from the perimeter for the American guard.
8.7 seconds left to play, 3.1 on the shot clock, and that will wrap up the first half, but APR trailing by 7. And a last play that will be put together to find out how they're going to try and get points from this. But as it stands, Ahli Tripoli just doing what they do best, which is, keeping the ball protected, having players, the ever-dangerous Jason Randall Dion Thompson. They're all very dangerous players, working really well. Adams up there with 13, and Marais, what a fine input he has had in this Ahli Tripoli team.
Yeah, just spoke to him before the game, and he said that he doesn't even know what day of the week it is because of traveling all the way from South Korea, dropped off his family in Egypt, in Cairo, before coming to Kigali, landed on Thursday morning, and just trying to adjust here to the high altitude in Kigali. We're almost at about 1,800 meters above sea level. That plays a role in everything in terms of recovery. But Marais, what an introduction to season 5 here for Ahli Tripoli.
Yeah, it's a fantastic introduction, isn't it, in game 5? Big scores, big points, looking dangerous, good in the paint, very physical as well. Coming over to you, Q, quickly.
Well, we'll just have a look and see if they can execute on their baseline out of bounds play.
Sadi, 3.1 seconds left to play, doesn't get the right shot. Aliou Diarra needs to go up. Robbins goes up, hits the three! Wow, massive shot. And 53-49 at the end of the half. It's a 4-point game. Sensational there from the captain, Robbins. And we'll take a break, back with the highlights of the first half and some in-depth discussions with Usher and Q. We're back here at the BK Arena, and we've got a game on our hands. What an enticing, riveting blockbuster of a clash taking place here between Ahli Tripoli and APR. And, you know, there's been some sharp shooting. Mohamed Sadi nailing his 3 points, of course, to get the show off the ground for Ahli Tripoli, Usher.
Yeah, we've always known that Ahli Tripoli love to score those threes, but the introduction and return of Aliou Diarra has been very impressive on defense, especially for APR, giving them that rhythm that they need on the other opposite side of the court. But Kaleb Agada opening up the scoring there from behind the arc for Ahli Tripoli, the confidence it gives the team. But the return of William Robens, Captain Fantastic, has been impressive here for APR and just doing the job.
Well, it's just been fantastic, and Boissy comes on in the second quarter, and we know what he's capable of doing. Some massive shooting from downtown, just to help Ahli Tripoli get ahead. And he's the danger man, of course, dropping the ball into the path of that man. Marais comes out and just sharp shooting again, this time from Darryl. Thompson's been unbelievable as well.
Yeah, they've done an incredible job, really, with Jason Rwanda opening up the floor there. 4 for 5 from the three-point line as APR in transition. But the buzzer beater there from William Robens to take such momentum into the dressing room is exactly what James Mai Jr. needed.
Well, as Kenny K-Shot performs, we're going to bring in Q. APR just keeping in there. What can they do to move ahead?
At this point, they're just going to have to continue to try and cover the perimeter. This is the best three-point shooting team in the conference. They hit about 14 threes a game, but they shoot around 40. And if you look at the 9 of 18 that they have already, they are right on track to almost go over the average. I think three-point coverage is a real thing, and then that you have to force Thompson on Dawo and maybe Murray, who's just come in to play a bigger role, I suppose. But it's very much easier said than done.
Yeah, we can take a look at some of the top performers, Asha.
Yeah, 2 players in double digits there for Ahli Tripoli. Jalen Adams, 13 points. John Thompson in the paint with the 10-8 with Murray playing his first game in the Nile Conference. On the other side, Jason Rwanda has been lifting so much weight on the offensive side with the threes. And Obadia Noel, Aliou Diarra, Nori Habimana, and William Robens contributing as well from the backcourt.
Yusufa Ndoye needs to come in and put more of an impact for APR in the second half if they want to get in there. It's 53-49. We'll take a break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Most about the fairies, so many trying to get me. Yeah, we thump on the times, baby, pump on the positive. Gonna size and house and power, overdosing, good eating a burger. Yeah, I got too many, but you know you were more. Yeah, you don't wanna dance it, I'm gonna pass it. Gonna size and house and power, yeah. Gonna size and house and power, yeah. Gonna size and house and power. Nari zangu zilie.
It's Elo's on the track.
Let's go, let's kill. Let's go, let's kill. Let's go. Twese. Intaregabanya volume ubujiji bwinshi byo muri iyi minsi zangu zitagira skills gushaka amabifu yushima baguhisha nahinduye inzira na gang utubona shoes wavuga iki ubu ni king cyatararenze ariko akoresha nyinshi hit ni G ushuti nazizi zindi ni biz kandi busy ni biz na fit ni deal tutafera hasi kumuteka cyangwa kuvuga sebo icyo nshaka ni hella papers sinitako luchere kumbagira rimwe ndahinga research singira abameka bantameka bose ni njyewe nigenga ibyo nkora njyewe ndabizi nashinze imizika ni mbuto zirera sinyibiteza abana bambona bahwera
Kenny K-Shot is taking the roof off this BK Arena. 53 points for Ahli Tripoli, 49 for APR. Now we get a chance to just take a look a little bit deeper in the inner picture to find out exactly how Ahli have managed to get themselves ahead and who are the key players who are making life a little bit complicated for APR. We start off with this man here. I mean, he has just been sensational because he's just difficult to read in every play. Jalen Adams.
Yeah, Jalen Adams has been the player that has brought the sauce here for Ahli Tripoli, just driving into that paint, shooting the 3-ball as well, and going up to double digits early on to counter what Jason Rwanda has brought on the court for this APR team. But look at his ability to just be a ball magnet, find his range, and just bring the fire here for the Libyan side.
Kiri's also being complicated because he's a talker and he likes to get in the face of players and sort of, make them understand that he's on the floor.
Well, you know, when these players look at their matchups and understand who they're playing against, and Jalen Adams seeing Chasen Randall on the other side, understanding that, you know, he's coming up against another premier guard, he probably decided that I need to take a bigger role and responsibility today. So 13 points, you see, that was his contribution in the last game, and now he's shooting the ball fantastically well, and it's going to be interesting to see if they continue to play the same way in the second half, because we've seen limited usage for Boissy, but this team is just so dynamic. They have so many different scorers, and that's why they're so dangerous.
And that's why, you know, they're a very fine outfit indeed, of course. Jalen Adams, NBA experience, you know, a very important player in this in this team, this Ahli team. And then on the other side, you know, another player with NBA experience, bringing it to the courts of the BAL. It is that man, Chasen Randall, 14 points. Also, you know, orchestrating and making life complicated. But he's a very dangerous player. And he also knows how to score around the bigs, as we saw there, Usher.
Yeah, we've seen that these two teams like to play small ball, and Chasen Randall, as Q already said, knows that it's time to step up. And what a way to do so with the 13 points at the halftime break to contribute to APR's offense. They know that the three-point shooting is going to play a key role. William Robbins also contributing from behind the arc, and they continue to stay within touching distance of Ahli Tripoli.
Q, what kind of game can we see adjustments in the third quarter on how to deal with these players? How are the coaches? Because we saw, you know, a game of chess in the last game with the two coaches. What are they going to do to adjust?
These are just two high-powered offenses, and I think what we saw in the first half is, I think I can outshoot you. We're not even sure we're seeing defense play prominently. And when you have the kind of offense and versatility that both these teams have, they geared to shoot from the perimeter. Chasen Randall arguably has one of the purest shot forms and the purest stroke in this Nile conference, and he showcases it every chance he gets. It's 80% from the three-point line. Every time he rises up, you get the sense that he doesn't miss. It's impossible for him to miss, and I think we're just going to see two teams that are going to shoot the ball exceptionally well, because there's very little you can do defensively to stop each other here.
Randall's basically, you know, taken over a little bit from Noel. Noel is normally, you know, the key player who will be doing everything that Randall does. Today it's Randall. Yeah,
today it is Randall, and of course you have to change the style of play. You don't have to be very predictable in the way that you execute there on offense, but averaging, of course, 15.3 points and 2.8 rebounds and 3.3 assists. It means that he's also one of the floor generals here for APR. They have a lot of quality when you look at their guards. They have Axel Mpoyo, who's done well from the three-man position. They have Jean-Jacques Wilson, as well, and William Robbins able to contribute there on offense. But there's still so much basketball to play, Roby. We have a lot to expect in this second half.
The question is, Ahli, can they keep hold of that lead? Because the moment that they lose that lead, APR will try and go for it. They'll try and take advantage. They've also got to be a little bit careful with the fouls. Ahli Tripoli with, four players with 2 fouls. And then, of course, we've got Dion Thompson with 3, a vital component in this Ahli team. They can't put themselves into that dangerous position. It might have a negative effect.
And you've talked about the ability or the need for them to stay within reach here. Ahli Tripoli already had a 13-point lead at some point, but it's been reduced to 4.
4, that's all. We'll be back for the start of the third quarter.
Now, fans, the video board for highlights and facts from the first half of this game.
We're seeing absolutely everybody on the last round.
Je commence à être vraiment fatigué, moi.
Welcome back to the BK Arena. It's Kigali, the land of 1,000 hills. And we'll take a look at the key players comparison here with Jalen Adams and Chasson Randall. And when we have a look at them, look at the field goal percentage there for Randall, 83%, but more assists there for Adams.
Yeah, it's the contribution really that he brings, but also efficiency is the name of the game in this game. And you can see that both guards are very self-aware. They know that they'll be the key makers and could determine the eventual result of this game.
4 out of 5 3-points scored. It just puts him in a very good position. They can rely on him from the outside. It's also how he just glues everything together from the inside as well. These wonderful images here, just to give you an idea of what the BAL is all about now. The Basketball Africa League in its 5th season, and it is fabulous. Fans turning up, full houses, great basketball, and a little bit for everything, and representation right across the continent. It really is fabulous. Q, let's get your little reactions before we head back into the Lions' Den.
We are potentially geared for one of the high-octane offense showcase that's going to happen in the second half. And we still have some other premier shooting guards shooting players in terms of Mpoyo, Habimana, and the other APR players that can knock down threes. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all unfolds. Ahli Diarra's getting some limited usage, but is giving great minutes on the floor. And will he be able to help them overcome a hurdle that they were not able to overcome in the first game and actually pick up a win against this high-powered Al Ahly team?
Usher, how important is it for APR to get points right out of the blocks first?
We've already seen them come out of the dressing room with good energy, but also sometimes they've not really executed there on what James Murray Jr. wants. But Q talked about high scoring. We've already seen a 4-point game here, but 53-49 at the halftime break. The last time out in the first round, APR had 41 and Al Ahly had 42. So we could be in for a century scoring game from one or both of these teams.
Come on, bring it on.
Bring it on. Game on. Let's go.
And earlier on today, we saw Nairobi City Thunder. We got to mention them because they managed to register their first ever win in the BAL. Dominated the road to the BAL, and then they managed to actually get their first win, having lost their first 4. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Kenya and all of the fans and the followers, because that's a massive milestone when you just come into the BL for the very first time.
Yeah, I spoke to Eugene Adera after the game, and he was really so happy. You could feel that, this is something they've been waiting for. So hongera sana, Kenyans and everybody who supports Nairobi City Thunder.
Justin Randall gets the ball moving as APR with Habimana. First possession going for the home team that could lift the roof off this BK Arena. Is Randall. Ahli Diarra trying to go, and losing possession there, and it's Zagata who manages to make the the steal. Badrouche back out. Sadi for 3. Meticulous, metronomic Sadi.
Absolutely impressive shooting. You asked who would come out of the dressing room with fire, and look at that man, Mohamed Sadi. 7 3-pointer here for the Libyan champions.
Scorching hot shooting there from Sadi, who moves up to 9 points. Ndoye asking a little bit more from him, I'm sure. And that's great work, that is, from Murray. And Murray working really hard defensively.
Murray, what a contribution he brings here to Al Ahly. They've completely changed the look that they have on offense, but the way that they pass that ball around until they find Mohamed Sadi, who was squared up and ready to shoot.
3 from 3 for Sadi in the 3-point department. That is pretty impressive indeed. He's the man with the hot hands, the scorching hot, flame-throwing hands. As there's a bit of contact, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds.
Yeah.
Jump ball.
The way that Murray is playing, you can see that this is champion material that he brings from South Korea. Of course, playing on 2 continents in the same week. Must be fun, huh?
Yeah, that's that's pretty impressive, to say the least. And you talked about it before. Get out of there. There's another block. Block number 3 for Aliou Diarra. Enjoy. Picks it up in the paint. And look at that from Agada. That's 2 steals in the space of 1 minute. And Adams goes up. Drops in the 3. Up to 16 for him.
That is 3 for 4 threes here for Jalen Adams. He's unstoppable so far for Al Ahli Tripoli. APR will have to try and stop him.
Oh, there's a bit of contact there by Adams, and Enjoy goes down. A little bit of a whip across his face, I think.
Well, every time that an APR player goes to the ground, the fans literally stand up and hold their faces, just hoping that he stays healthy. Let's look at the replay there, and
I think it's Adams who comes around, and there might be a little bit of contact in the face. We'll have to see that. That was the get out of my house moment from Aliou Diarra.
His contributions today have so far been largely on defense, Aliou Diarra, but no pressure because Jason Rando is doing most of the work on offense.
And there's Ndoye who goes down, who's having a little bit of conversation there. APR in possession, 10 points. Habimana goes high over the top. That's the one they're looking for. An important 3 points for Mpoyo.
Those are his first points here in this game. He had 9 in that last loss for them on Thursday against MBB, and he knows that for him to stay on the floor, he'll have to contribute more in terms of scoring. He's a scorer, and the fact that Yusuf Ndoye and Aliou Diarra on the floor, it means that he plays in his best position as a 3-man and not as a 4-man.
That was the triple that came in from the baseline, and 2 shots here for Caleb Agada. He is such a phenomenon. I've always liked how he played. Having seen him play at Nigeria, of course. Not only, but what he brings to the floor is stupendous intelligence, as a basketball player, knows what he's doing. He's so difficult to defend.
He is difficult to defend, and he is a great defender. It's also his value on the other side of the floor that keeps him on the floor, and he really is an asset to any team.
Yeah, and in that last game against APR, he had the 9 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals, leading everyone in the game for good defense.
Yeah, I think the steals, he loves to. Oh, that's Habimana who goes down.
That is second personal foul there for Badrouche. Look at the replay there.
It's Agada, I think.
It's Agada. It's Agada who's up to 3 personal fouls. It's cause for worry there for Coach Fuad Abu Shakra, but he's not moved. He'll keep him on the floor.
Well, because, that should have been slammed in there by Aliou Diarra. The monster dunk moment that didn't happen. Mare Sadi, 4 from 4, 100% from the 3-point shooting department.
Captain Fantastic, the sharpest shooter here on the floor here in terms of efficiency. But what a player Mohamed Sadi is, and his introduction to the BAL definitely going to be one of the players we remember from season 5.
8 from 17 for APR. 3-point shooting. Aliou Diarra, Sadi will pick up the foul, and Aliou Diarra will go to the free throw line.
That's a 3rd foul there from Mohamed Sadi. Look at the fans and the reaction. They thought that was definitely going in, but Sadi just making the APR fans sad.
Look at that. Very impressive shooting there from Sadi. Aliou Diarra goes up. He's trying to build his tally.
Well, he's up to 8 points, Aliou Diarra. That's 6 for 8 on the free throw line for Aliou. Just missed twice so far here today.
Badrouche. There he is. Marais, get out of there. Look at that from Diarra. Another block, as per usual.
4 blocks here for Aliou Diarra.
Oh, the hustle. And Aliou Diarra's not letting go of that. Jump ball, and they will get possession back. Wow. And that was a test to see how he's doing physically, I think, after his injury.
Yes, I mean, Aliou Diarra right now just continuing to show why he is one of the best defensive players we've seen here in the Basketball Africa League. He won the Dikembe Mutombo BAL Defensive Player of the Season in Season 3, playing for Stade Malien when he took them to the bronze medal here. And it seems that he's been taken off and will try to get some rest and treatment from the APR medical team.
Enjoy. 10 points with Noel back on the floor. 4 seconds, got to get his shot in. Needs to go up. Oh, there's a foul by Marais. That's going to be his third. And this is a bit concerning. That's the 4th team foul now for Ahli Tripoli. And that's a problem.
That's under 4 minutes played here in the third quarter. So the 4 team fouls, a big worry for Fuad Abu Shakra, as Obadia Noel goes back to the free throw line. He's shooting at 75% from the charity line and makes his 4th. And is up to 8 points.
Q, coming over to you. This is interesting. This period now very interesting.
And APR just have to try and keep the score within 3 or 4 possessions, and they're still going to be in the game, because you really have to be very aware of the high-powered shooting from the perimeter from this Ahli team.
Enjoy trying to cut out. It's a good turnover. Randall trying to deal with a guard that goes up. That's a fantastic score there from that man Randall, up to 16. And how he dealt with a guarder who's going to pick up a 4th foul for that.
Mr. Consistency. There's a reason why that is his nickname so far here on the broadcast. His ability to turn things around and just make sure that the team is rewarded for that steal on the other side of the court. Gets the buckets, and now you have an opportunity for it to be a 3-point play. But Caleb Agada is up to 4 personal fouls, and he's quickly taken off and he heads to the bench.
Sadi has 3, Thompson has 3. Foul trouble is going to be a real issue for this Ahli team.
Especially with just under 6 to go in the third. A lot of basketball to be played. And then you've got to make adjustments if you've got players in foul trouble. Sadi, all those contacts. And that is going to be another little victory for APR, because it's an offensive foul. And I'm just thinking, is that Marais who picks up his third as well?
It is Marais indeed, Robbie, that picks up his 3rd personal foul. Q had already just talked about how dangerous these fouls could be for Ahli Tripoli.
A massive score, and quick thinking from APR, and now it's just 3 points. My oh my, we are having a lot of intrigue and drama here in Kigali.
The BK Arena, everybody is on their feet, and the fans, they love it.
Listen to this, listen to the crowd. Another little victory, they get possession back, and it's all of a sudden going APR's way.
High-octane basketball from APR, and if there's a team that understands what it takes to play at home, it is this Ahli Tripoli side. They went 7 for 4 in Tripoli in the West Division, road to BAL games, and they now have to find a way of keeping this crowd quiet. But for now, APR, they have the momentum.
And Noel up to 11 points. Into double figures he goes. Second player after Randall. Robbins into the corner, and Joy shows a little bit, goes a little bit, tries to hook it over the top, away from Thompson. And now Adams goes through, kicks it out. Badrouche, lots of time, hits the three! And they go back to 6-point lead.
8 3-pointers here for Al Ahli Tripoli. They have the energy and efficiency to turn things around every time APR think they're coming close.
That's their skill. That's what their DNA is all about. They just know how to do it. There's Noel, bumps off Boissy, drops in another two. What a fine run he's having at the moment, Obadiah Noel.
He's up to 13 points and just continuing to put pressure on Al Ahli Tripoli. And now they have to try and see how to gird him. It's Jean-Jacques Boissy who's been given that responsibility. But so much is at stake here.